what I just did there was a series of what we call turnarounds. And I've got a lesson on modern blues harmonica called Turnaround, so I'll post that link at the bottom, a 4-pay lesson. But I thought I would just talk a little bit about the general idea of a turnaround, because if you're a developing blues harmonica player, this may be one of the things that you don't spend much time on. That's one of the reasons why I created that lesson a few years back. So the turnaround is the thing that comes at the sort of towards the end of the 12-bar chorus. It actually comes bar 9, bar 10. So the downbeat of bar 11, beat number 1 of the 11th bar of a 12-bar blues. Are you with me? I hope you are. If not, you'll need to come up to speed. But that downbeat of the 11th bar of the 12-bar blues is the beginning of what we call the turnaround. The turnaround gets us from that note, which is almost always, if you're playing harmonica, it's almost always the tonic note, it's the 2-draw, occasionally the 6-blow, but almost always that 2-draw. It's a place that many of our solos go to. Beat 1, bar 11, and then we've got this thing called the turnaround, which kind of sets us up. It goes through the remainder of bar 11 and all of bar 12 and sets us up for a fresh round of 12-bar blues. So let's say I'm going to start on bar 9. I'm going to go over the 5 chord to the 4 chord to the 1. And by the way, this lesson obviously is not for beginners, but maybe if you stick around, you'll hear something that'll make sense to you. So I'm going to do in the simplest way, 5 to 4 to 1. So that da-da-da-da, that's the downbeat of bar 11. It's the 2-hole draw. And now we've got to do something. And what we do is called the turnaround. And there's many, many varieties in blues harmonica, many different kinds of turnarounds. I did a bunch of them up front in this video. A couple of failures, which I left in just because I wanted you to see, I'm trying to make stuff up as I go, but also I'm trying to draw on every kind of turnaround that I've used over the years, and there's an infinite number of them, and most people don't realize that. One thing that's important is that there's almost always, unless you're playing solo harp, and I've done a lot of that, there's a band behind you or there's a guitar player behind you laying down harmony, often with a lot of sort of internal movement. That kind of stuff. And so your harp can sometimes just hit a certain note repeatedly, and that internal movement's going to make the harp sound richer than it would if that movement weren't there. In other words, to have harmony behind you makes a difference. But still, you can begin to think about these turnarounds. So what's the simplest turnaround? I remember years ago hearing Paul Osher playing with Johnny Young, an album I think was called Mississippi Mandolin, something like that. Now that would be a fairly straightforward, it's not the simplest, but it's fairly... So what am I doing there? Let me just give you that one. 2-draw, this is C harp by the way, key of C. 2-draw, 2-draw whole step bend twice, to the 1, to the 1 draw, then to the 1 blow. 1 draw to 1 blow. Back to 1 draw. It's a cute little, a neat little, literally kind of a turn, a reversal. And then you go back and hit the 2-draw bend. So that's a pretty basic turnaround. Let me show you and I haven't really given you all the notes on that. Pretty much all the notes, yeah, okay. Here's a very different kind of turnaround. That may be even simpler in some ways, but it involves a bend. Well, these all seem to involve bends. It's 2-draw, 3-draw with no bend, to 4-draw, to 4 blow. And one thing you'll notice, that 4 blow, why 4 blow? Because there's a 4 chord that's kind of implied, often at that moment in the turnaround. And actually, let me simplify what comes after that. Let's just do 3-2-3-2 with the 3 having no bend. So this is a good basic turnaround. I've gotten to this point through the inductive method. Keep trying stuff until you find something that works. A turnaround with no bends, good. Good. That's your basic turnaround. 2 draw, 3 draw, 4 draw, 4 blow, then 3-2-3-2. And that da-da-da is going down to the 1 draw, which is the root of the 5 chord. And that last couple of beats in bar 12 is almost always pretty much always a 5 chord, unless you've got a certain kind of blues that doesn't actually do the 5 chord, right? So it's always a 5 chord unless it's not, but then there are blues that don't actually have much of a turnaround. It's just one of the possible variations of a 12-bar blues. But I like this. This is a good one to start on. Now, let's assume you've got that. What are some possible variations that would funk that up a little bit? How about that? I love that one because it gives you a little bit of jazzy kind of internal movement within the harp line. So what I did there starts the same way as the first turnaround. Then I'm going to do a bent 4 draw to 5 blow. Really cool. It's basically, yeah, so that would be a diminished kind of run. So in a sense, I've thrown a diminished chord in. Then I go back down to the 3 draw, and then I jump from the 3 draw to the 1 draw. That's hip. How about that? I like that one a lot. Let's do one more, and then I'll just we'll do one more. So that's going to end the same way as the one we just did, but it's got all of that diddly diddly side to side stuff. What is that? 3. So it starts on the 2 draw, then 3-2-3, no bend. Those are draw. Then 4 blow, 3 blow, 4 blow. That's wonderful. I love those sort of in and out, side to side, diddly diddly. Those are so cool. Those are sort of little tricky things that you got to get a bunch of those and file them away. And then after that, I'm gonna do a bent 4 draw. I'm not going to worry too much about what the 3 draw is doing. You can do several different things with it. Mostly I'm just going to hit that bent 4 and go down to the 3. Probably an unbent 3. Yeah. Bent 4 draw, 3 draw, bent 4 draw, unbent 4 draw. Open 4 draw. Let's try that again. Then I'm jumping from the 4 draw to the 3 draw to the 1 draw. Okay, but there's other things you can do. And I think at this point it's time to end. You may wonder there seems to be an infinite number of possibilities, and that's right. That's right. We're 6th-degree black belt, and once you master the basic moves, you can always kind of somehow find the notes to slither on down the staircase and get down to where you want to get down to, which is usually that 1 draw. good solid place to end up on at the end of the turnaround. Anyway, it's Adam Gussow with Modern Blues Harmonica, and I'll see you down the road. We just did Turnarounds Part 1. Bye-bye.